995.com, 7:06 our time. The 3rd of February of 2026. Time she just keeps marching on, doesn't she? How about that? Nice day. Rain in the forecast, 59, maybe 60 for a high, partly cloudy, and 46 tomorrow, sunny and 44 on Thursday. And then the weekend pops up, and it gets a little bit warmer. No chance of rain in the forecast for the weekend thus far. But today it's a near certainty. A near certainty. We can always use a little bit, right?
A little bit.
We got a big concert announcement coming up in mere moments after I remind you that Dixon and Fuller are my insurance agents and should be yours. Dixon and Fuller, 414-1476. They're local. They're independent. They shop around and find you a truly, truly great, premium, and fantastic service. This is who they are. This is what they do. I love them. You'll love them. DensonandFuller.com, 414-1476. Are you ready for Win 'em Before You Can Buy 'em week? These tickets don't even go on sale until Friday, right?
That's correct.
Woo. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks. I'll be here all week. He takes one day off. He forgets where the buttons are.
That's all right. You got it right.
Coming to the Coca-Cola Amphitheater in Birmingham, August the 13th, along with special guest 49 Winchester. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Tim McGraw.
Woo! That's big, huh?
Yep.
You got a chance to win those tickets the rest of this week. Today, tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. So 4 pairs.
You listen to us, and we will give you a key word
to text.
us. You'll text us at 545-9950, and then you'll be entered into a drawing to win one of the pairs of tickets that we are giving away.
Sweet, simple, to the point.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. If you have not downloaded our app, go ahead and do that. We're going to make your life really simple with this.
Yes.
Because you can call us or text us
from that
when you
app.
hear that word from the app, right?
Yeah.
You can listen to us from the app.
Yeah.
You can watch us now on YouTube at Real Talk 995 TV.
Don't call us with the word. That doesn't make sense.
No.
Just text the word.
Yeah, when we give you the word, you'll text it to 545-9950. Just do it one time. You're in for that pair of tickets for that day, which will be today.
You ready for the word?
Let's do it.
Ready for the word now?
Sure, let's do it.
Here it is.
Text the word 545-9950.
Fu Manchu.
Text. Don't call.
Don't call.
And if you get the spelling wrong, you're in.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay.
F-U, pause, space there, M-A-N-C-H-U, Fu Manchu.
Okay, I'm just saying.
All right.
They're like, what?
Do you know why?
Like Foo Fighters, F-O-O?
Do you know why it's Fu Manchu? You know it? You don't know? Really?
I don't know, no.
Oh. Look up the lyrics to the song "Live Like You Were Dying."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the riding Fu Manchu.
There you go.
I've had a couple.
Seeing
I think
several
it was my
different
son.
versions of the spelling here, too.
That's okay, too.
My son asked me that. He's like, what's he saying there? And so you have to go into that explanation about what that's all about. It's
Exactly.
funny.
Ah.
Yeah. Well, he goes, I don't get that.
Great song.
So it's lost on some people. It is a great song.
710, Dixon Divining, Talk 995, Talk995.com. Here's an interesting story that came out a couple of 3 days ago. There is a lawsuit that was filed against doctors in New York City.
New York City?
Correct. $2 million. A 22-year-old woman who identified as a boy in her teens won that $2 million decision in a landmark lawsuit against New York doctors who were accused of pushing a double mastectomy on her when she was a minor. Yep. Fox Varian had the life-altering surgery when she was just 16 years old, getting approval from a psychologist and a surgeon, both of whom a jury found liable of medical malpractice on January 30th of this year. The 22-year-old Varian, now 22, considered a detransitioner, was awarded $1.6 million for past and future pain and suffering, additional $400,000 for future medical expenses in the first detransitioner malpractice lawsuit in the nation to go to trial and win. I suspect it won't be the last.
Oh, if this is a win, you're going to have a whole bunch of others right behind this one.
Yeah, I think there's going to be, especially since we just went through a spate of this. By the way, I don't know if you saw this, but a story came out within the past couple of weeks that said, boy, the number of youth that identify as trans just plummeted. Like it just dropped off the face of the earth. It's like, oh, it's funny. Donald Trump gets elected to the presidency. Suddenly there aren't as many trans people. What's that all about? Well, it stopped being pushed in schools. We got rid of that ridiculous DEI stuff where everybody was constantly talking about it. And, well, Billy, maybe you're a girl. Have you really thought about that? The next thing you know,
How about
suddenly,
don't give Billy the option? Billy, this is how things are.
That's
And
right.
later in life, you might want to figure something else out on your own. But while you're living here, this is not how that's going.
Just
We're going to figure this out together.
the very idea that gender is a social construct rather than something that is physically decided for you upon birth. I mean, let's face the facts. You have the XX or you have the XY. That's it. There's no in between. There's a minor, very few number of people that are XXY or, people that are hermaphrodites or whatever, but that is a tiny percentage, 0.003% kind of thing, which is ridiculous. So, but this idea that somehow gender is a social construct that was invented or that you're assigned a sex at birth and maybe the doctor got it wrong. Anybody with two brain cells to rub together for warmth should be able to look at that and go, no, that's not how any of that works.
It almost seems like it came on the heels of, it's like, how far can we push society? Like,
Sure.
if you're left-leaning and you're a lib, how far can we take things? And I think the door kind of got opened up a little bit through the pandemic because a lot of people, a lot of Americans got led by their nose that you're going to stand 6 feet, you're going to wear this mask, and yes, it will. All of the things that we went through the pandemic felt like it was just an awful test to see what we would be willing to do.
Right.
And some of us did it. Some of us did it. Are like, okay, well, I've got to do this or that in order to get into this doctor's office, or I have to do this. Some of it you're like, okay. Even the vaccine, it was like, well, if I don't get the vaccine, I'm going to get fired from my job.
Yep.
So it seems like that was the beginning experiment, and it may have even gone further back than that, but that's the one that really comes to mind. It was soon after that all of this other stuff started happening, and you're just like, what's going on in the world? What do you mean this girl or this boy that was born, they just feel like this? And, parents or teachers or school or whatever faculty's like, yeah, if you feel that way, just go right ahead.
Right.
No one's saying no.
No.
No one told these kids, no, you're not. You're going through a phase. Kids, there's crazy things that go on from the time that they're 5 to the time that they're 21. You're trying to figure out life, and you're going to do some stupid, crazy things. And adults that are not adulting and saying, oh, yeah, if you feel like a girl, you just go right ahead. Or you feel like a wolf, you go right ahead. What is that?
I think you are.
Why did we allow that?
You're you're right in a darker way than you even know. Because, folks, if they can get you to say a boy is a girl or that a man can get pregnant, they can get you to say anything.
Oof,
They can get you to agree to anything.
Right.
And that's really what it comes down to, is how much can we control the populace here? And if we can get them to say, oh, sure, that
can happen.
Girls have penises, then by all means, we can get them to say pretty much anything we want them to. So this is why you have to have some common sense, and you have to stand up and you have to say,
no, that's not how this is working.
And the funny thing is, you'll run across these liberals who will use one of the last lines in 1984 as some sort of attack upon Donald Trump, saying the final greatest order of the party was to ignore the evidence of your eyes and ears and to toe the party line. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that's exactly what they had us doing in the Biden era. Ignore the evidence of your eyes and ears. We know that's a man dressed as a woman. He's going to go into the women's restroom, and the party says that's perfectly acceptable.
Whoa.
Your eyes and ears tell you it is not, and you should stand up and say no to this guy. That's not going to happen. And that is unfortunately the situation that we found ourselves in. But we're snapping back now. We're snapping back.
Yeah, I think so. I think people are realizing we're headed down a road we'll never recover from if we don't start speaking up and standing up.
You're going to have more of these detransitioner lawsuits. I'm here to tell you it's going to happen.
I believe it.
It's going to happen more and more as time goes by. There's very little doubt in my mind. I'll tell you what else there's little doubt about, and that is the idea that you can just pluck a number out of thin air when it comes to selling your piece of property. Because let's face it, that's really what you're doing. When you decide to stick a price on something, maybe you look around, you see what the comparables are. Do you ever stop to think that maybe your piece of property is way, way, way more important, way bigger than anything around it, and that you could be getting much more money for it? One of the worst things that you can do in the world is go, I got 6 bids and I got, I sold it within a day and a half. Good for you. Good for you. You priced it too low. That's what you need to know. If you actually put this thing on the market and don't have a price, get the buyers to come to you, bid against each other. Now you're talking about getting the best market value for that piece of property. You have a date certain of sale, a date certain of closing. The buyer pays the closing costs. This is all Granger Thagard Auction Marketing. This is what they do. GTauctions.com if you'd like to find out more and be a part of it. GTauctions.com. Granger Thagard Auction Marketing. They've been doing this for a really long time. They know their stuff, and everybody that uses them just sings their praises. They just absolutely love it and are shocked and surprised to find how easy and convenient and correct this is. Once again, Granger Thagard Auction Marketing, GTauctions.com. Visit them for a no-obligation consultation. Yeah. Yeah, she does. .720 Talk 99.5, Talk995.com. Dixon and Vining with you. Congratulations to our compatriots down the hall, Greg McElroy and Cole Kubelik, who were just named a #1 mid-market sports morning show in America by Barrett Media.
They deserve it.
Good for them.
They deserve it,
Yeah.
and we're very proud that they're part of our
Absolutely.
family here at Cumulus.
Glad to have them. Glad to have them as part of our gang.
Yep.
Even though I rarely get to see them.
Well, yeah, you see them like in the door and down the hall.
That's it.
And the other thing is our breaks kind of fall at the opposite time.
Right.
So when we go to break, they're going back, so we really don't cross paths.
That's
very
exactly
often.
right. Maybe on the way out of the building.
Yeah, out the
I'll
door.
run-
I
I'll
don't
run
know. Do
across
you
the
get
street.
out that quick?
Not me. No.
No.
They've got places to go. People to
They
see
sure
things to do.
Busy.
Not us.
Hey, we're getting into the season, folks, and this might be a really good weekend to really start thinking about it. Spring is around the corner, and Rodney's Marine is ready to help you. If you've got a boat that needs some repairs, make sure you get it to Rodney's Marine real quick because spring will be here. Here's something else. The Alabama Boat Show is coming up February 27th out at Grand River.
Yep.
Some preseason deals and steals that you can get and meet the folks at Rodney's Marine. This is a perfect time for that. So go see them. Again, February 27th, the Alabama Boat Show, Grand River is where it's going to be happening.
Fabulous deals. A Suzuki Power, of course, with a 5-year warranty. They got the Silver Wave, Starcraft pontoons, Tritoons. Everything comes with a trailer. They've got in-house financing that you can avail yourself of, and that means low monthly payments. Owning a boat far more affordable than you may have ever thought once you are actually dealing with Rodney's Marine, the great people over there. Don't forget about accessories. And if you already own a boat and it is time to de-winterize it, get it ready to get back in the water come, say, March, these are the guys you want to talk to. If you need any sort of major work done, get it in now. Don't wait for boating season to begin. They get very, very busy around that time. So get the repairs done before the season starts.
Oh, absolutely. And get to know Rodney's Marine. Terrific people out there. We love Rodney and Kimberly and the guys that service these boats. They know what they're doing. They're the professionals and know everything about lake life, Suzuki engines, and these wonderful boats. So when it's time to purchase a boat, make sure you get it at Rodney's Marine, 525-1500 Highway 231 on Lake Logan Martin and Cropwell. Visit their website, rodneysmarine.com.
And now, it's Dixon and Vining's top 3 things you need to know.
An ICE agent in Alabaster was injured Monday morning while attempting to serve papers on an individual in what they say was a targeted enforcement. Altercation broke out while federal agents were searching for the person on Shady Acres Lane. Woman injured, an unidentified ICE agent, was treated by a local fire department. She will be okay, according to authorities. ICE agents on the scene were being assisted by local authorities from Birmingham, Helena, and Alabaster. ICE is actively searching for the individual involved in the altercation, as authorities say there is no danger to the public. How do you know? We'll get you more details on the story as they become available, but apparently his truck was towed away, his van.
Well, there goes
So had
that.
a bunch of, so he's not going to be driving anywhere for the foreseeable future. But what about this? An illegal immigrant targeted by ICE because he had committed some other crimes, driving around in a van, which means, did he have a driver's license or not? We don't know.
Good question.
But he was a threat on the roadways, and apparently it was a van that had a bunch of ladders attached to the top of it, according to one of our listeners who texted us yesterday. And you go, okay, so what's his second story, man? What's going on here? I'm a little concerned about all of this.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I don't like to hear that, we've got something locally that has happened where an ICE agent has been injured. So, hopefully that agent is doing better. But let's hope that we find this guy.
I have faith in them.
Yep.
I thought about this the minute that I heard the Trevor Noah joke, which was a really bad, stupid joke about how everybody wants the best song Grammy as much as Trump wants Greenland. And then he made a joke about how Greenland, he needs a new island to go to since Epstein Island isn't there anymore.
I heard that too, and I normally don't listen to the award show, but I turned it on just to hear a little of it, and that's exactly what I heard as well. And I was like, what a jerk thing to say.
Well, first off, it's
you're doing the Grammys. Don't glom onto our president in the middle of a Grammys. Really, don't you have something better to do?
It's a very lame joke. It really was
terrible.
not well thought out. It was weak at best. And by the way, Trevor Noah's not the guy who's writing these jokes for the most part. There's like a staff of writers that they have on hand to put this stuff together. And this idiot, went out there with that. I'm kind of like, I'm embarrassed for you. But the minute I heard it, I went, Donald Trump is
he's going to be all over
He's
it.
litigious.
Mm-hmm.
He may actually decide to come after you if you don't want to, rewrite that. Because there is zero evidence that Donald Trump ever went to Epstein Island.
Yeah, he
Not
says he
one bit.
didn't.
Yeah.
Trump has said,
Yeah.
I've never been.
And they can't find any, flight manifest that has him on it that he went
No.
to. Yeah, he's been apparently on the plane a few times. But yeah, Trump says, get ready, Noah. I'm going to have some fun with you, President DJT.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah.
Oh.
That award show, what a
My.
joke. Love to see, and I don't know if you guys talked about it yesterday, Jelly Roll getting up there and, professing his faith and his love and appreciation for Jesus Christ and
Oh,
how
yeah.
that's changed his life. While everyone else up there is anti-ICE this, anti-ICE that. I was like, this is, I'll watch it for Jelly Roll. Thank you for something positive. And then you've got the other side where they can't wait to get up there, not even really thanking anybody, but, anti-ICE this and that. I'm just like, it's so messed up.
Well, my favorite part was Billie Eilish saying that nobody is illegal on stolen land. And I thought,
Right.
well, you own a good piece of that. Why don't you give it back to the Indians? I mean,
Yeah, let's start with you.
yeah, give it.
Yeah, she should be
You're
first.
so upset about this. You really ought to
Mhm.
hand this thing off. You've probably been following this story for a couple of days. Savannah Guthrie's mom, Nancy, possibly abducted from her home. The 84-year-old is believed to have been taken against her will
Yeah.
from her home in Arizona. This, of course, is the mother of NBC Today co-host Savannah Guthrie, possibly kidnapped from her home as investigators continue to search for the missing 84-year-old. Nancy Guthrie was last seen Saturday evening at her residence near East Skyline Drive and North Campbell Avenue, north of Tucson, about 9:30 p.m. after family members dropped her off at her home, according to the Pima County Sheriff's Department. Sheriff Nanos has stated that he believes that a crime has been committed. At this point, investigators believe she was taken from her home against her will, and that includes possible kidnapping or abduction. There's also belief, based upon evidence, that she was harmed.
Yeah. And then you say, what's the evidence? That's the part they've not released. So you
Yeah.
would think, was there blood evidence in the house that something happened to her? Here's the other interesting thing, that her family, and Savannah's got a older brother, I believe, and a younger sister. She's somewhere around 54 or so. But anyways, family had taken Nancy out to dinner and brought her back home and dropped her off.
Mhm.
This was around 9:30, I guess Sunday?
Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Yeah.
And you just wonder to yourself, did possibly was somebody already in the house?
Yeah. Was somebody waiting?
Was somebody waiting in the home?
Hmm.
And once she got inside the door and the door shut and the car drove off, that's what happened. And then you say, well, who did that? She left her keys or wallet. We don't know if things were stolen from the home or what this was really all about, but
They're
pretty
playing this
awful.
one really tight, man.
Yeah,
we have
it's,
very little info to work with.
and a sweet, 84 years old, I guess, living by herself in Tucson, Arizona, not far from the border there, which is a little scary too.
Yeah.
But I'm sure Savannah Guthrie is just out of her mind. I can't imagine what
Yeah.
she's going through right now.
Well, if your mom got kidnapped, you'd probably be losing your mind, too.
I would absolutely lose it.
If my mom had been kidnapped, they would have
Richard,
returned her
Richard,
right away. They
Richard,
would have been like,
Richard, she's deceased.
that's why I
you need
can
to
say
leave
these
this.
things. No,
Leave this.
This is why I can say these things. They would have returned her. They would have
Telling you.
I'm not sure they would have slowed the car down to 75. They would have just opened the door and just been like, we heard about the Halloween candy.
There's a few other things too.
Oh.
Right? Some of those meals.
Let's let's say a brief prayer today
Yeah.
for Savannah Guthrie's mom
that's just-
and hope
Mm-mm.
sincerely that everything is okay with her, because wow,
It
this
doesn't look good though.
It
y'all.
doesn't.
It does
not look good in any way, shape, or form.
No.
7:30 Talk 99.5 Talk995.com. I got a bunch of different choices we can go with in the next hour. I'm leaning toward ranking Chef Boyardee products.
Could be fun.
Who doesn't love a little Chef Boyardee?
Sure. You might inspire us
Yeah?
to go get some today for lunch.
Oh God,
or
please
dinner.
no! Don't do that. Don't do that. That's
How old
a
am
bad
I?
idea.
5?
What's
Listen,
a 5-year-old doing with a car
There's
and
some
money?
19-year-olds that
The
really
answer's-
like the Chef Boyardee, if you want to know the truth.
You're right about that. 7:35. Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5. Talk995.com. Thanks for hanging out with us. 13 hours of live and local programming every weekday. Skippy, Hey Now McLean, follows us at about 10 o'clock this morning. Alabama Tree Pros, 308-4158. If you have got a tree that needs taking down, these are the only guys I trust. First off, they're less expensive than others. And you go, well, if they're less expensive, maybe they're not as good. Oh, no. Every bit as good. Better in many cases. They are 100% safe. They are licensed. They're bonded. They're insured. They staple all that to the back of your very low estimate. If you don't believe me, call around. Get a couple of other estimates first. And you'll probably find that Alabama Tree Pros is the lowest. You'll also find that they specialize in trees that are in kind of hard-to-reach places, trees that are next to houses, near power lines, things like that. They're really very good at getting those out of your way. And so you can trust them to get the job done and do it right. That's Alabama Tree Pros, alabamatreepros.com, 308-4158. Make the call. Thank me later. It's going to be good. Okay, here we go. I actually read a little bit of this while we were in the break, and I made the right choice on this one.
Okay, what you got, Richard?
This is all 9 Chef Boyardee items ranked from worst to best by Chowhound, and specifically written by Nikki Cervone. Nikki Cervone. Coming in at number 9, Chef Boyardee mac and cheese. Given all the other opportunities to enjoy boxed mac and cheese, the canned option from Chef Boyardee should be tossed away immediately. While the presentation was decent, it at least looked like a hearty bowl full of plump, vibrant mac and cheese. My last place choice was far from pleasant to consume. The sauce had a chemical, artificial taste and no bold cheddar flavor. This shouldn't come as a shock since the sauce is not made with actual cheese. Instead, it's clearly identified as a cheese-flavored sauce on the label, with ingredients like cheese flavor, natural flavor, seed oils, and margarine. Overarching problem with soft, overcooked pasta, and mostly all Chef Boyardee products reared its ugly head the most in the mac and cheese.
That doesn't even look good. That looks really nasty.
Coming in at number 8, Chef Boyardee mini spaghetti rings and meatballs. Their version of SpaghettiOs, obviously. Chef Boyardee's microwavable option for mini spaghetti rings and meatballs was a sad little dish I never want to eat again. There was way too much sauce in relation to the minuscule number of rings and meatballs. Those poor little guys were drowning in that bizarrely thickening madness. The more concentrated ketchup-y flavor and consistency of the sauce was unpleasant and was a far cry from the characteristically smooth and creamy Chef Boyardee tomato sauce I've known and loved ever since childhood. I'm going to blame this on the microwavable container format.
Maybe you misremembered how bad it really was when you were a kid.
I believe you're correct on that.
Yes, it was much better when you were younger.
Yeah, everything was fine when you were younger.
I must say, Nikki is impressing me with the writing style, though. Number 7, Chef Boyardee beefaroni.
All right. Now you're starting to get in.
John on the text line will be very upset because he thinks beefaroni should be number 1.
Okay. As a 90s kid playing with my Tamagotchi while wearing a bucket hat, I'll never forget the fun little ditty in the Chef Boyardee commercials that would air between my favorite Nickelodeon shows. I would sing out loud with the other kiddos. We're having beefaroni, beef and macaroni. While the song is a joyous core memory of my childhood, the taste of beefaroni certainly is not. I didn't really like it back then, and I still don't like it now. I am a kid at heart, after all. Chef Boyardee's beefaroni features cylindrical pasta pieces and a tomato and meat sauce. The tomato sauce tasted just like the signature base used in most of the Chef Boyardee canned pastas. It's like a homogenized velvety tomato soup with a pleasant balance of acidity and sweetness, with just a little saltiness and a faint hint of Italian herbs and seasonings. The sauce wasn't the problem here. The main offenders were the severe lack of meat and the poor quality pasta.
I'm hearing a theme here.
Yes. The pasta pieces in the beefaroni were so overcooked and mushy that there were only a few teeny tiny specks of beef scarcely scattered throughout the sauce. This was a severe problem for me, especially because a product called beef in the title should include far more than what I had.
Not enough beef in the beefaroni.
Yeah,
it actually led off the whole title, beefaroni.
Yeah, it's right there.
Beefaroni.
Chef Boyardee lasagna coming in at number 6.
Lasagna in a can?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chef Boyardee's lasagna, prepared with long lasagna noodles and a tomato sauce mixed with meat, had nearly all the same issues as the beefaroni, but with a few winning qualities. The shapely ribbons were wide and thick, so they had more wholesome texture and were more fun to eat than the short pasta pieces in the beefaroni. I was entertained by the deconstructed canned concept of a lasagna casserole, though I missed the presence of a cheese component. Coming in at number 5, Chef Boyardee cheese ravioli.
Oh, yeah.
Not as
Come on
boring
now.
as plain pasta swimming in soupy sauce like beefaroni or lasagna. A stuffed option, such as Chef Boyardee's cheese ravioli, at least has some heartiness compared to the others. There were still enough weird flaws that prevented it from climbing closer to the top of the list.
Weird flaws?
Yeah. The negatives include the cheese filling, unforgivably stingy, and didn't stingy. I think.
Stingy.
Is
I
what
was
you
like,
have to say.
stingy.
Yeah, I think we left an E out of stingy. And I didn't really have any flavor to it. Oh, no.
that's
There was
bad.
something odd about its texture. Was that a grain of rice I nibbled on?
Oh.
After consulting with the label, rice is included as an ingredient.
In the ravioli?
Yes.
Oh, that's weird.
It's a filler.
I do have an
Yeah.
expert guess as to why there's rice in my ravs. The addition of rice must be more cost-effective, an attempt to mimic the texture of a grainier ricotta cheese, which is the traditional filling
Now
in most
that
cheese
need to get the
ravioli.
rice out of there. Come
Yeah, I
on,
would
what are
agree.
y'all doing?
All right, beef ravioli from
Pretty-
Chef Boyardee
pretty
coming in at
good.
number 4.
I like me some
Okay.
beef ravioli.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna run out and get any.
Are you
but
sure?
Not necessarily from Chef Boyardee.
After reading this, I bet you won't. Beef ravioli from Chef Boyardee is only a small improvement over the cheese ravioli. On the plus side, rice was not used as a cheap filler, and there's actual
Yay.
beef listed as an ingredient.
Mm.
It's also a bit more filling in the beef ravioli than the cheese ravioli. But considering the cheese ravioli was offensively lacking, the barely fuller beef ravioli wasn't all that impressive. As for the sauce, it was the typical expected Boyardee base, smooth, velvety, and mild like a creamy tomato soup. Despite these small upgrades, there was some strange textural issues that I did not find appetizing. The filling didn't taste that great. The texture was similar to a creamy bean dip that was rather flavorless,
Ooh.
lacking any beefy, meaty flavor. And the pasta used for the beef ravioli was soft and flabby.
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 I've
but
never
was
heard
still
that description.
Hearty enough to encase the filling without falling apart when I stabbed the whole dish and cut it into pieces. Wow.
Yeah, just
Okay.
we ran out of creative words. Now we're using
By
flabby
the
for
time she got to
ravioli.
by the time she got to the last couple here, she was just in such a bad mood. She can't find really a whole lot to compliment anything on.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Well, let's face it. It's Chef Boyardee.
I
It's,
get it, but still,
it's garbage in a can,
she
kids.
is just
Sure,
really.
but when you're in a
tearing into
hurry
these
and
guys.
you're trying to feed your kids something.
This was lunch for me when I was in grade school. I mean, every once in a while, my mom would break out the can to Chef Boyardee, and that was kind of a treat for me because I told you my mom went on that health kick. I didn't get that very
Get a
often.
ravioli.
Chef Boyardee overstuffed Italian sausage ravioli.
Now I've never had.
Okay.
I didn't even know this existed.
What's the solution to a stingy ravioli? Find an overstuffed one. Out of all the ravioli I ate for this review, the Chef Boyardee overstuffed Italian sausage ravioli had the most appeal. True to its name, there was an abundance of filling compared to the others, which offered a well-balanced ratio between the pasta and the meat inside. Filling had a lot more flavor and slightly better mouthfeel than the beef ravioli.
Mouthfeel.
It was still creamier than I expected a meat-based product to be, but I could tell there was a better chew to it. Instead of beef, this one included Italian sausage made with pork and assorted spices, and seasoning.
Pieces of seasoning.
Yes, indeed.
That too.
The tomato sauce was the main issue here. While the flavor wasn't anything to complain about, the consistency was much runnier than all the
Ew.
other sauces.
Runnier.
The looseness was a little odd, and I missed the velvety thickness I typically expect from a Chef Boyardee sauce.
Maybe she needs another can.
You're going to find something to complain about no matter what, aren't
I
you?
guess, yeah.
Chef Boyardee spaghetti and meatballs
Yeah,
coming
there
in
we
at
go.
number one.
What?
Number two, rather.
Number two.
Sorry, number
That's
two.
the
Okay.
traditional.
Even though the
This
concept-
should be number one.
Similar to the mini
Should it?
spaghetti rings and meatballs, Chef Boyardee's classic can of spaghetti and meatballs reigns supreme due to the size difference between this and the mini version. The meatballs here a much better texture and flavor. They weren't excessively bouncy or rubbery. Instead, they were tender with a perfect amount of chewy resistance that maintained the integrity of their beautifully
Hold on a
bulbous
second.
shapes.
Chewy resistance.
Yes.
Who talks like that?
And for single
Oh,
serving
Chef
can,
Boyardee, it had some chewy resistance.
I was impressed
In
by
its
how much it
mouthfeel.
contained. Yes. I like it.
Hey, really love what you did with this meal, honey. It's got chewy resistance. When was the last time you ever said
I
that?
think I'd get hit if I told that to my wife.
Yeah.
Like, what are you? Shut up.
They weren't excessively bouncy or rubbery. Come on, that's a positive.
Oh, Because of bouncy and rubbery.
But a chewy resistance.
Are we talking food here?
But there's a very good reason why spaghetti and meatballs didn't take first place. The
Oh,
tasty
no.
meatballs will never erase from my memory the horrific and inexcusable texture of the spaghetti strands. No different from most other pasta-focused competitors, this dish featured noodles so soft that they dissolved instantly as soon as I ate them. Similar to what I observed with mini spaghetti rings, their size is to blame. With such long and thin pasta shape, the noodles were destined to be mushy. Oh. Coming in at number 1.
Yes.
This should not be number 1.
Microwavable Chef Boyardee rice with chicken and vegetables.
No, come on. This should not be Chef Boyardee's number 1.
What a refreshing change, she writes. Nikki. Chef
Yeah.
Boyardee's microwavable rice with chicken and vegetables finally gave me the one gift I was desperate to have after tasting the other contenders, texture. With all the soft, gummy pasta I tasted utterly failed in that judging category. The rice excelled. The individual grains were not soft and mushy, with a perfect al dente texture, a rubbery chew. The chicken was also an impressive feature. There was plenty of moist, meaty pieces to enjoy with each bite. Sure, the mixed vegetables, small bits of carrots, peas, celery, and onion, were definitely on the overcooked side of the doneness spectrum, but they contributed to the overall depth of flavor and provided a colorful, earthy contrast to the starchy base. Yeah, I would say really, spaghetti probably came in number 1, and this is like a contender in its own right in a completely different field.
Different category.
Yeah.
I think the ravioli has always been the beef ravioli and probably the spaghetti and meatballs. Or I would love to know from Chef Boyardee what's their best sellers, and I bet it's those two.
More than likely. Beefaroni might be in there. John
beefaroni.
John
and-
followed up on saying beefaroni better be number 1 by saying this review is offending.
Wow.
Jason says beefaroni not being number 1 is a travesty.
Wow.
Blair said it's basically baby food. Toddlers love it. Mine are 5 and 3.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Tammy says, I opted out of eating Chef Boyardee when my mom discovered it. I would never feed it to my kids or my grandkids. It's so nasty, just the smell made me nauseous. And Jerry the Angry Trucker says, my wife loves anything Chef Boyardee. Then again, she married me, so her taste and choices are suspect.
That is absolutely true. Originally, by the way, there is a guy named Chef Boyardee, and that is an Italian spelling.
Yeah.
It's Boiardi, I believe, and they
If I
changed
remember
that to
seeing
make it.
the-
For Americans, we could
Yeah.
say it easier.
They wanted to make it a little bit.
Boyardee.
Yeah,
Well, they used to
Boyardee.
have hyphens in there, too. Is it boy and then R and then D,
Right.
separated by hyphens so that you could figure out how to pronounce it,
because we stupid Americans have no earthly idea what we're doing.
apparently.
But yeah, look, to me, if I was coming home from school and I was going to get a can of Chef Boyardee anything, I wanted that beef ravioli. That was
Beef
my
ravioli,
number
yeah.
1, man. That was like the biggest thing. I'd never had ravioli before. And when I actually got it for the first time at an Italian restaurant as a young adult, I was like, oh, that Chef Boyardee crap is terrible.
I really wonder what the beef is in the beef ravioli, though.
Yeah, it's
I don't
kangaroo.
want to know.
Canned ham.
I believe
like
it's kangaroo.
Canned beef.
I could be wrong. 748 with Dixon and Vining. Please don't sue us, Chef Boyardee. We didn't write those reviews,
we
I
didn't.
swear.
Nikki did.
Mm.
751 Talk 995, Talk995.com. Dixon and Vining here. Shannon from Birmingham says, when I was a kid, the lasagna had meatballs and it was amazing.
The lasagna had meatballs.
This is what you remember, Shannon.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of it much better than it actually probably ever was.
Yeah. Kids have got an undefined palate, I would say. Undefined, unrefined. And consequently, everything tastes good,
Yeah.
It's designed specifically for children to indulge in. And when you become an adult and you try it and you go, I remember how good this was as a kid. Oh, I was stupid
not
as a
good.
kid.
Well, we were talking TV dinners not long ago.
Yep.
We thought that was just the bomb.
Oof.
Yikes. Pretty bad.
Thank you, but no thank you. Let's talk about this alternative halftime show that is supposedly being put on by Turning Point USA.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
Bad Bunny is going to be the halftime show at the Super Bowl, and I have a sneaking suspicion that the ratings are going to crater in that half an hour. I just don't think people are going to be that focused. They might leave the TV on and leave the room and go do something else. I don't know how many people are going to be really focused on that right now. And he only won, I think, the Grammy for Album of the Year because it was a political statement. It's another one of those lost opportunities, another one of those moments. You sometimes go back and you look at for instance, the Oscars, or in some cases, the Grammys. And there are films and there are albums that have stood the test of time, that have been a part of our lives and a part of the American fabric for 2 decades. And then you go, why didn't that win the Oscar again? And you go back and you look at what did win the Oscar and you go, I don't even remember that movie. Because it was some political statement that was being made by the Academy instead of actually going for the best possible choice, which is
exactly what they did.
That's what's going to happen
here.
As
soon as he won, I was like, he won because they're trying to shove it into the face of those that don't want him to perform at the Super Bowl halftime.
I think that's true. Well, he's going to perform. That's their choice.
Don't care that he's performing at halftime show.
That's the NFL. That they made that choice. But here's what I don't get: the All-American halftime show that is scheduled to air around 8 p.m. Eastern time on February 8th. I guess it would be 7 o'clock our time. It's going to feature performances from artists like Kid Rock, Brantley Gilbert, Lee Bryce, Gabby Barrett. No idea who these people are. I recognize Kid Rock. That's it.
Lee Bryce is pretty big.
2 or 3 small country hits.
Okay,
but been
it's
a long
well
time.
Known.
We're approaching this show like David and Goliath, Kid Rock said in a statement. Competing with the pro football machine and a global pop superstar is almost impossible, or is it? The concert will air opposite the NFL's official halftime show, headlined by Latin music star Bad Bunny. Where? Where is it headlining? I do not understand. They say it's streaming. They keep saying streaming. Is there a Turning Point USA channel I need to be a part of?
Might be a YouTube channel, yeah.
Yeah, they're not very clear on that, and they really need to get in front of this because the Super Bowl is coming up, folks.
Yeah, I
kind of need to tell people where to go.
I need to know where I'm looking.
Yeah.
Because I don't have any idea. I might watch a little Patriots and Seahawks. This is another one of those.
Maybe Fox ought to pick it up. I mean, there may be some contractual things they can't do it, but I'm thinking to myself, why not you put it somewhere where people can easily see it and flip over to it?
Yeah. That would be a good idea.
Yeah, and maybe in that way you can flip back and forth, but you put it someplace outside of that, there are going to be a bunch of people that say, well, I don't know where it's at.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go look for it.
And truth be told, I couldn't care less about either one of these shows.
Here we go. Turning Point USA's halftime show will stream across the organization's YouTube, X, and Rumble platforms and will also air on Sinclair Broadcast Group's OTT channel, Charge! It's in capital letters. Available through services including Samsung Plus, YouTube TV, Hulu, and Sling. Additional distribution partners include Daily Wire Plus, Real America's Voice, One America News Network, and others. So apparently you're going to have to go looking for this thing maybe ahead of time to see what you're going to be seeing.
Able to see.
You want to flip over to catch it. I'm with Steve. I don't really care about either one of these, to be honest with you.
Well, I'm glad that they're giving an option to this.
Yeah.
Because, again, this halftime artist for the Super Bowl is not very pro-American.
No.
And, that's what football and the NFL, that's all American. And I just don't feel like this is the right guy to represent and just be, providing a, something that's something for the whole family to watch.
The NFL turned this decision over to Jay-Z. He's the guy who handles that.
Which is a shame.
It was a bad idea.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea.
Because, look, here's what's going on. After the Colin Kaepernick nonsense, you then had Black Lives Matter, and you had we're going to do Lift Every Voice and Sing before all these events. It's at, NFL games. And you began to see viewership just drop off. Most of America was like, I can't relate to anything you're doing. I like football, but you guys are ticking me off, and I don't want to be a part of this. And so you began to see the numbers tick downward. They stopped all that nonsense a couple of years ago. Lo and behold, the numbers start ticking back up again.
They did.
They still did Lift Every Voice before the first game, I think, of the season. But after that, they have dropped all that nonsense, and they've just played it straight and done what you would expect out of the NFL.
I think you'll probably hear a performance of it before the Super Bowl.
Almost certainly, and Bad Bunny. And it's like, okay, ready, fire, aim. Let's just take really good aim at our foot and put 2 holes in it. NFL, what are you doing? You're just getting viewers back, and you're going to screw this up again? Like, how out of touch are you? And I guess it depends on where you might be. Where are you headquartered? Are they in L.A.?
Maybe.
Are they in New York?
NFL's New York.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, well, there's
you know.
part of the issue. Once again, I think you don't know your true base. It's almost like they're programming this for the players in the NFL rather than the viewers of the NFL. Who are your ticket holders? Who's buying tickets?
Yeah.
Who's watching?
Yeah.
And then try to wrap your brain around that and put together a halftime show for those that want to be there and watch the game. This isn't for the players.
I got news for you.
This is for the watchers and viewers and ticket holders.
At $3,000 for a low-end ticket to the Super Bowl, those are not Bad Bunny fans.
No,
Just so you know.
No, that's what I mean. They're missing what their core audience is.
I would agree, and I don't know how.
They don't get that.
Yeah, how do they?
How do you not get that?
How do you get them back into the fold? How do you get them to one of the things I love about what Donald Trump and his administration is doing is spreading the government out across the country. Now that we have the ability to contact each other and deal with each other through online services and other methods, you find we can move half of the FBI to Huntsville. You can move a bunch of different offices to different places, and it doesn't all have to be concentrated in this super liberal area. You get out there and you begin to see. It's the same as neighborhood policing. How can a police officer really know what a neighborhood needs unless he's right in there amongst them? So when you start putting these precincts, miniature precincts on street corners, and these people are in and amongst the folks that they're supposed to be protecting every day, you get a better quality of police work and a better quality of neighborhood out of that. Sending government agencies out into the world is just a good way to handle this. Making movies in someplace other than L.A. is a good way to make sure that movies don't all have the same woke nonsense in them. Well, these sports teams, NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, they're going to have to get out of their high towers and get down among the populace and see what's going on out here before they realize Bad Bunny's a bad choice.
I just don't feel like it's rocket science, and for some reason they're hell bent on making sure this guy's the. I had several people say, "I thought they got rid of him; that he wasn't going to be the halftime show." Yeah, because of all the stuff that's out there, AI.
Yeah.
No, I said no. He's the halftime show.
Yep.
And it's like, why? Well,
I don't know.
that's Jay-Z, I guess.
I'm sure somebody will enjoy it. It won't be me.
I won't be watching it.
I don't think I'll be there. Thank you very much. I doubt I'll watch Turning Point USA either, but I might. It's possible.
I'll flip
We'll
over
see.
to it.
Yeah.
I'd rather see that than.
I got a lot of work to do this weekend. I don't have time to sit down and watch a football game. Come on.